Good day all. Today I'll be talking about the savior of the modern style superhero genre. Funnily enough, it's actually quite an old anime, at least a decade plus, but that does not matter. And the show I'm talking about is Tiger and Bunny. And now you may ask, what's so interesting about this show? I'm gonna tell you. It's of course the premise, the characters, and just the situation, and everything involved. This show has been in my top 10 ever since I watched it, so let's just say it is good. Now, what makes it a standout from other superhero shows? I would say just the use of commercialized heroes. Because we all know heroes go, save people, fight crime, etc., right? Now, what if you could make them a walking billboard for your product? Like, for example, a hero comes in, saves like a civilian, and then you just see like bro has like fucking Amazon on his back, and you're like, damn, Amazon knows what's good. And so you decide to use it. Yeah, that's basically that. And it revolves around Hero TV, which is also kind of a game show, aka heroes get points for being the first one to arrive at the situation, being the second one to arrive at the situation, well, saving someone and capturing the target, or targets, depending, of course. And at the end of the season, our new King of Heroes is crowned. But the thing is, we're not gonna be following the guy who becomes the King of Heroes, or the King of Heroes currently. No. We are following the underdog, a man past his prime, Kaburaki Wild Tiger Kotetsu. And, well, he is like pushing his mid-30s, he's not exactly young, and his, let's just say, mindset is very outdated for the game show. Because all the other heroes, follow the game show rules or something, like when the producer tells them like, wait a bit, we're gonna go cut the commercial, so, just hold on. And like, okay. I mean, if I do something now, it's not gonna count, so I'm not gonna do that. Meanwhile, Kaburagi is way different, because he actually does something. He, even in the first episode, he's like, mate, lives are in danger. Fuck your commercial. And does a thing. So yeah, as you would probably believe, Kaburagi is never really the top hero. He's always somewhere around the middle, because, he does not exactly play by the rules, if you will. And, well, he's not exactly a popular one either, because, he's not the coolest or whatever the fuck. And all of that is gonna change after a new character shows up called Barnaby Brooks Jr., or nicknamed Bunny. And, because of corporate bullshit, Kaburaki and Barnaby basically are forced into a team. And oh boy, they are dysfunctional as all hell, because they are basically two clashing ideals. One of them is like fresh and young, one of them is old and, well, old. Hell, even in the first episode, Barnaby calls Kaburagi old and old-fashioned, So, hey, off to a great start. And, well, Tiger and Bunny also brings a concept, or like a thing that's, I don't think is rarely even brought up. Because all of the heroes have like sponsors, like, sports, like corporations sponsor them, right? And like if the hero, let's just say he's fighting a bad guy and then he like breaks a building, and then the corporation will pay for the damages to rebuild the building, right? So, you know, there is something like, it's not just like, oh, this building is broken, who cares? And we have sponsors. Like, they're not made up sponsors, by the way. No. We have something like Pepsi, we have SoftBank, we have SH Figure Arts, we have Bandai, and, you know, in later seasons we get like Amazon, I think. So yeah, real corporations, by the way. And the TV version that was aired did have all the sponsor markings still on, unlike the Netflix version and the Blu-ray version, they were removed. But enough ramblings, let's get back to the story. So after Barnaby and, you know, Kotetsu team up, it starts off at the wrong foot, really. They are dysfunctional, they don't get along at all, you know. But, of course, as time goes, that changes. Like, somewhere around the halfway point, they become good friends, and, you know, they actually become a team. A good team at that, like, actually climbing up this, like, you know, hero board and actually, you know, becoming famous, especially shocking through Kotetsu because, well, newfound fame, basically. And the name Tiger and Bunny comes from Kaburaki Kotetsu's superhero name, Wild Tiger, and the nickname Kotetsu gave Barnaby, aka Bunny. At first, Barnaby hated that nickname, but after they became friends, he started to, you know, like it, or at least not mind it. Which is wholesome to see. Of course, this is basically not like a plot-driven show, like something like My Hero Academia would be, because that is basically like Izuku becoming the greatest hero, etc. But this rather is driven by the characters and their actions and whatnot. There's not exactly like, at least in the beginning, there's not like a clear goal where the show is gonna go. You know, it's more like slice of life episodic thing with, like, you know, still character development, because everything that happened, well, still has happened in the next episode, and the, you know, characters' relationship change and developed over time, but, you know, well, it starts to get a plot, or like, actually like an underlying plot, somewhere around the 7th episode, I think. At least we get the first hints of, like, what we are up against and what's, like, the big bad. And let's talk about the villains. There's not really, like, I can't exactly talk about the villains because it would be very spoilery, but let's just say there's this anti-hero type of character called Lunatic, and he's the fucking coolest. And he's like the first character to actually kinda respect Kaburagi. Which is sad, because whoop-de-doo, a villain says that. Like, yeah, you might be onto something. While your own hero friends are like, now what the fuck you on about, bro? Now let's talk about the other heroes we have. For example, we have Sky High with the ability to control wind. And who's, well, at least in the first few seasons we see the King of Heroes. Then we have Origami Cyclone, who can, like, copy others' appearances, but it's not exactly suited for fighting. But thanks to some encouraging words from our main character Kotetsu, he starts to learn how to use his power better. We have Fire Emblem, who can, like, conjure fire and control it, so like a pyromancer. We get Blue Rose, who can, not even exactly sure, but like, I think she can conjure up, like, ice, so, you know, a cryomancer. We get Dragon Kid, who is like a martial artist and can, like, conjure lightning. And then we got Rock Bison, who actually never gets his power revealed in the original show. It was actually only named and shown what it exactly does in the, well, a movie, which is the first 2 episodes with added content, so you could basically just watch the movie and then continue from episode 3 onwards. This series also has one of my favorite types of comedy, which is banter, because, well, it's just fun, like 2 best friends just talking smack to each other and no harm done. Well, at least in the very beginning of the show, it's more like actually actually trying to piss each other off, because what can you do? And also, as the story progresses and the show progresses, people actually start to respect Kaburaki Kotetsu, and he even kinda becomes like a mentor slash like a father figure maybe to like a few of the young heroes, which is honestly kinda wholesome to see, because, well, Kaburaki Kotetsu is actually a dad as well. So yeah, he has his own kid. Honestly kinda refreshing to see a dad character, like an actual dad in an anime, who's like the protagonist. Unheard of, I know, right? Then of course can't go without mentioning the anime itself, or the animation. It is a combination of 2D and 3D. But the 3D is not bad, it moves well, it looks good, and it's like expressive. Which, well, that's what CG should be. So basically, if you just want a refreshing superhero story, you should check this out. It has like, you know, one of the greatest main characters ever created. Like, I can't really go into detail, because that would just like, I don't know, go into spoiler territory. It's best that you see him for yourself. Same goes really with like the bigger plot elements, because all of them really ties into the characters and their developments and whatnot, and I would not like to spoil like some of my favorite moments in like anime history. It was a great adventure, and you should experience it yourself. So yeah, check out Tiger and Bunny, do me a favor, watch it, and you know, hopefully you'll like it, because I mean it's my 4th favorite anime, so what can you say?